Blind Faith Live, real people, real miracles. I'm Philip Keller. On Tuesday, complete new episodes of Miracle Moments and Issam's Insights. On Sundays, the archives for Issam's Insight. What is it the angels do not understand completely? We get into that also with all the breadcrumbs all around that God just sprinkles everywhere. Why are we still not getting a lot of this? In Issam's Insight, Blind Faith Live, real people, real miracles.
I don't know why the majority today, they are doubters. Maybe because we, in our orientation, are becoming more physically oriented, more physical. We are bombarded by a multitude of things continuously that force you to focus on the spiritual, on the physical part of our existence. Maybe that's the case. I mean, you see people that pray nonstop and they believe and all of that. I look at the scientists I've encountered and we talk to. They are highly spiritual, and yet they doubt that the invisible could materialize.
Yeah.
Or in their mind, they keep on searching in such a way they want to find a physical explanation of what is manifesting.
It doesn't work that way, does it?
Exactly, yeah. And it makes you wonder.
Yeah.
It really makes you wonder. But God is, again, He is very willing. I mean, look at the events. God is very willing to provide the evidence for every one of us. That's why it is written, seek and you shall find. Ask, and you'll be answered. It's a matter of, again, us focusing on one thing. And not only this, in order for us to experience, we have to have the true, the right intention always. And what I mean by that is your love and care for everything around you. So when you seek with that in mind, automatically you are going to be led towards that encounter.
You never lost your innocence, obviously. You've spent a lifetime, a career working with Jesus. What a blessing for you that you didn't get an amnesia. You didn't get the amnesia,
That's a grace from God. The encounter that I had is such. I asked Him not to allow me to forget, because it was so evident right from the first moment. I started losing the view, of where we come from. So it was very evident for me early on, during those first moments. It made me feel very sad. It gave me a very terrible feeling that is still with me continuously.
The disconnect?
The disconnect, it grieved me terribly.
And God does want that disconnect for most of us. To what? So we can, part of the test is to find our way back to Him?
No, the idea is, again, and that's, that thing explains why God became a man, in order for Him to be able to make the reparation. If we did not lose the memory, we wouldn't be able to go through the experience of the knowledge of evil. We have to become part of this world, you see, in order for us to be able to be part of the redemptive act. And the whole thing is about having us have that decision made out of a complete free will, so not to be influenced by anything. If you look at the details of that human experience, it points you towards that fact. We have to become part of this world in order for us to block the effect of the mind of those evil angels upon this physical existence on that level. And that's an organ within the sun. It has to be repaired. But that's the mechanism. And this explains everything, why God allows us to have that amnesia.
Well, you've mentioned how, and it's obviously in the Bible, St. Paul, I complete with my body what was lacking in the cross. That's it right there. We get to be part of that redemptive process.
Exactly. The whole thing is about that. And when you focus on those things, when you contemplate them, you get all the answers. The whole thing is about us recognizing the value of our Christian life. Because every Christian is so valuable. That's why the angels hover around us as believers. Because not even the angels could have that experience. I mean, look how great that thing is. If we always just go back to that baseline thing, I think every one of us will always be driven towards that perfect seeking, let's say, to reach that perfect relationship between us and our Lord Jesus.
Well, by the mere fact that, as you say, the angels are learning, we tend to think we could go through life assuming the angels know everything, and they're learning from us.
They are learning from us. That's why they wondered, and the God Himself became a man. They have been wondering for 2,000 years, about that. Yeah. In their mind, they cannot understand,
Still? I mean, even still today?
Still today, even though they know fully. Mm-hmm. You see?
It is amazing. I mean, it is still dazzling.
In order for us to understand that part, like now, we are spiritual, we are physical, right? And our consciousness is locked in the physical world. So you look at this spiritual one, and for you, it's a mystery. The same thing applies to those angels. We are a mystery to them because they don't have that physical consciousness. Mm-hmm. And not only this, the fullness of God dwelt in that man. You see, the fullness of the Trinity is within the Son. Look at that fact. So if you do not belong to fully, or your existence does not stretch throughout the full spectrum of existence, from mind, spirit to body, then you'll be lacking in your understanding. Okay. The fullness of existence is within the Son of God.
Thank you, Dr. Issam Nemeh, the physician of unshakable faith, on Blind Faith Live. Real people, real miracles.